too. There are moments when heaven feels silent. When your prayers seem to echo back unanswered. When promises feel delayed, almost forgotten. This week's Torah portion, Parashat Shemot, begins not with the thunder of miracles, but with silence denied. There are no splitting seas here. No fire on Mount Sinai. Just the cries of babies, the pain of broken families, and what feels like a hidden God. And yet, this is exactly where redemption begins. The portion opens with a list of names. These are the names of the children of Israel who came to Egypt. The great commentator Rashi asks a simple question. Why repeat their names? We already know who they are. They were counted back in the book of Genesis. The Midrash gives a profound answer. God repeats their names because even in the darkness of slavery, they didn't change them. They held on to their names, their language, and their core identity. They remembered who they were. In Kabbalah, the Zohar teaches that a name carries the very mission of the soul. As long as the people of Israel remembered their names, their ultimate destiny remained alive, a pilot light flickering in the oppressive darkness. And who guarded this flame? The women. The Talmud tells us that the men were crushed by the back-breaking labor. But the women guarded Israel's identity quietly, in the background through the songs they sang, the lullabies they hummed to their children, and the unwavering faith they kept alive in their homes. In fact, the Talmud in Sota declares that Israel was ultimately redeemed in the merit of these righteous women. Now, Pharaoh doesn't fear armies. He's not threatened by an uprising. He fears something far more powerful: faithful families. He sees their resilience, their growth, and he fears their future. So, he targets the children. He issues a horrifying decree. Every son that is born you shall cast into the Nile. It's an attempt to extinguish hope itself. But two women refuse to comply. Shifra and Puah. The Midrash reveals a beautiful secret. These are not new characters. They are Yosheved and her young daughter, Miriam. They stand against the most powerful man on earth, not with weapons, but with quiet conviction. The text says they feared God more than they feared Pharaoh, and the Gemara offers a powerful insight here. True fear of heaven doesn't create loud, aggressive defiance. It creates quiet resistance, rooted in compassion. They don't start a rebellion. They don't shout slogans. They simply and courageously save life. One baby at a time. This brings us to one of the most heart-wrenching moments in the Torah, a motheress's impossible choice. Yocheved gives birth to a son, a beautiful baby boy. For 3 months, she manages to hide him. Shabbat teaching points out that these 3 months represent the limit of human strength. It's the point where our own efforts run out. When she can no longer hide him, she doesn't surrender him to Pharaoh's decree. She doesn't give up. Instead, she releases him into God's hands. It is an act of profound trust born from heartbreak. I went through a season where it felt like everything was collapsing. Plans I had carefully made were delayed indefinitely. Doors I was certain would open were slammed shut. I could try to force outcomes, to scramble and panic and control everything. every single day. Did I get an immediate, miraculous win? No, I did not. But did I abandon my faith in the silence? Also no. There's a teaching in Pirkei Avos, the ethics of our fathers, that says, it is not upon you to finish the work, but neither are you free to withdraw from it. Just showing up, just holding on, just refusing to let go, that, according to the Torah, is a form of victory. And then, just when hope seems lost, redemption appears in the most unexpected way. Pharaoh's own daughter comes down to the Nile. She sees the basket. The Midrash says she absolutely knew it was a Hebrew child, one of the babies her own father had condemned. And in that moment, she chooses compassion over cruelty. The Gemara teaches that a single act of mercy can begin to undo generations of cruelty. And in that moment, faith becomes bold. Young Miriam, who had been watching from a distance, steps forward. She speaks to the princess. And the result is a miracle within a miracle. Yocheved, the baby's own mother, is hired and paid by the royal house to raise her own son. Redemption doesn't always remove the danger. Sometimes, it repositions you right inside it, giving you the strength to navigate it. The threat of Pharaoh is still there, but now God has made a way. The baby, of course, is Moshe. He grows up with a divided identity, Hebrew by birth, Egyptian by culture, and later, a Midianite shepherd in exile. He is a man caught between worlds. And it's there, in the wilderness, that God finally speaks. He appears in a bush that is on fire, yet it is not consumed. The Kabbalists explain this as a metaphor for the Jewish soul in exile. It is constantly under pressure. It feels the heat, but it is never destroyed. God was reminding Moshe of his true, essential self before giving him his mission. So, let's go back to that question. Did I pass the test? Let me ask another one. Did Israel win their freedom immediately after holding on to their names? Not because I got a miracle, but because I did not let go of God, when God felt silent. Faith isn't proven by the miracles. Faith is proven in the silence before them. It's in the waiting, the trusting, the building of the teva, when the outcome is completely unknown. If you are in your own Shemot season right now, where things feel silent and God feels distant, remember your name. Remember who you are at your core. Build your teva. Trust the process, even when it's painful. Trust the silence. Because what this story teaches us is that in that very silence, redemption has already begun. Thanks for watching. If you're in a Shemot season, a time of waiting in the silence, let me know by leaving a candle emoji in the comments. And if you know someone who is waiting for their own redemption, please share this message with them. Don't forget to subscribe for more.